How should you train for fat loss? If you're trying to lose fat and tone up, then there's a pretty good chance that right now you're doing it the completely wrong way. Most people think that fat loss comes from more cardio or doing random workouts that leave them sweaty and sore, but that is not what's going to actually help you. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to train for fat loss, and I'll break down the stuff that nobody explains properly, like progressive overload, technique, range of motion, tempo, all the things that make a massive difference. Now here's the first thing to know, and one of the biggest myths. You don't actually train for fat loss. You train to build or maintain muscle. Fat loss comes from your diet, but the way you train is what controls how your body looks when the fat comes off. When you're in that calorie deficit, I know that I went into this in a recent video, your body is more likely to lose muscle unless you give it a reason not to. And that reason is strength training. Basically, it tells your body that you need the muscle. And that's what gives you that stronger, firmer, and more defined look. Most people who are trying to lose fat or they're new to their journey make the same mistakes in the gym. They do random workouts, switching their plan every 1-2 weeks. They focus on being sweaty and tired instead of getting stronger. They lift tiny weights that are way too light. They never track anything. They rush reps. If that sounds familiar, then don't worry, because that's where most people start, but here's how you fix it. So the thing that actually changes your body and that you can think of as the foundation is progressive overload. And that's basically just a fancy way of saying just do a little bit more over time. Not that you're trying to crush yourself, not that you're doubling weights every week, but just small, steady, incremental improvements. What that might look like if you're training in the gym is, say you're doing a goblet squat and last week you did 12 kg for 10 reps. The next time that you come back to that same exercise, you're looking for just a small increase in maybe reps initially. You have your rep range of, it might be 10 to 12 reps. Last week you got 10 reps. The next time you go for 12 reps. And then the week after that, because you hit the top of your rep range, you go up a little bit of weight and down reps. So maybe you go up to like 14 kg, down to 10 reps. And then the time after that, you go for that same weight, but for 12 reps. So it's nothing crazy, it's just small progression. The ways that you can progress and use progressive overload beside increasing reps and increasing the weight would be through maybe adding a set or slowing your tempo, improving your range of motion and improving your form. A simple rule that's worth keeping in mind is that if you can hit the top end of your rep range with good form, then increase the weight next week. Now I want to talk about technique, because good technique matters way more than you think. Using a full range of motion builds more muscle, burns more calories, and keeps you safer. If you're going for half reps and lifting more weight than you should be, then you're only going to get like half the benefit. So always put good technique ahead of anything else. Another thing that instantly improves your training is tempo, basically how fast you lift. Again, something that a lot of people, if they're like new to the gym, that they don't pay attention to at all. They focus on just moving the weight from A to B and then think that's it. If you're rushing your reps or you're swinging the weight, then you're not actually working the muscle, you're literally just moving the weight. Try on whatever it is that you're doing, slow the lowering phase to 2 to 3 seconds, or at minimum just focus on not letting it drop with gravity. Focus on consciously making the effort to control it, and trust me, you'll feel a massive difference and you'll work the muscles so much more. So now, what should a week of training look like when you want fat loss and muscle definition? You want to aim for ideally 3 to 4 strength sessions a week, between like 45 minutes and an hour for each session, focusing on the basic movements, so a squat, a hinge, a push, a pull, lunges or single leg work, and then core. Usually with clients I'll split this into upper body and lower body sessions, so we're never training the same muscle group on consecutive days, and that's something else. Ideally you don't want to be doing the same exercises on back-to-back days, because after you've had what should have been a tough day of training before, that muscle might be a little bit sore, it's not going to be fully recovered the day after. So try and have at least a day of rest in between doing the same muscle group. And the other thing on the training is that if you enjoy cardio, then great, you can do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but try and limit it to like 1 to 2 short sessions for overall health and recovery. But the main thing you should be focusing on is the strength training. So to summarize, you don't need fancy classes, you don't need endless cardio, and you don't need to destroy yourself every single session. The main things that you need to be focusing on is good technique, using a full range of motion on all exercises, small improvements over time, and then enough protein to recover. If you do all of those consistently, then your body will change. And if you're watching this thinking that you know you should train like this, but you're not sure where to start, then just head over to my Instagram or my Facebook, DM me the word grow, and we can have a chat about how something like this could fit into your lifestyle. I'll also put the link in the description, but if you found this helpful, please hit like, subscribe for more videos like this, and leave a comment to let me know how many days are you currently training in the gym. Catch you in the next one.